You know, some people are a million years ahead of you, while it seems like you're stuck in a slow lane. Though time has passed, your life hasn't changed that much in the last 5 years. And realistically, it's unlikely to be changing sooner. You'll catch a break in the next 5 years if you keep going at the same pace you are on right now. The life you envision for yourself will just be a wish you once had. Other people have the same 24 hours in a day, just like you. But somehow, they're getting substantially more things done than you are. That's because they know something you don't. Join me as we go through the 15 rules that speed up progress in life. Here is how to make progress faster. Welcome to Little Bit Wiser, a place where we inspire people to do things that inspires them. Number 1, you pick only one goal and convince your minds that it's achievable. At the core of any form of achievement, there must be a belief. Many people have dreams and wishes that they know deep down their hearts that are not going to happen. They default to luck and look okay. But my friend, luck is not a strategy. It doesn't have to be believable to anyone. You have to believe that you can achieve your goal. You have to believe that you can get there. Define it clearly. Write it down. Look at the goal daily to keep yourself locked in. It turns out that we as humans, we are actually really good at getting what we really want in life, if we only know what it is. Once a purpose is set and a goal is defined, every choice you make should be aligned with it. The progress will come from getting closer to the goal. It's probably not a linear one, but make sure that the decision you make gets you closer in any shape, any proximity to it. This increases the chances of you making it. So get yourself closer to where most people fail and get stuck. This is when they pick two goals that are in opposite directions. A step closer to one of them will take you a step further away from the other. In a panic, you take a step back to remedy it. You just took 2 steps, each one of them took efforts, but both were oriented towards your goals. But if you look at the map, you are back to where you started from. If there is only one thing to remember, my wiser friend, it is this: speed comes from focus, not force. Number 2, find one source of truth. Research it and commit to it fully. You're smart enough to distinguish between something you want, something good for you, and what's not. I know that you're smart enough to distinguish between what has a higher probability of success and what is clear, right? So find a source of truth. This means a voice, a mentor, or an example of someone who did what you are about to do. Deconstruct their actions, learn their playbook, and follow in the very steps that they took. They have already made the same results that you want. Since their actions leads to your desired outcome, chances are that following the same playbook will at least help you to make substantial progress in the right direction. Don't change plans. Don't chase after shortcuts. Just follow the right process and put your treasured time in. The truth is, most plans are good enough if you just stick with them for long enough. Where most people fail or slow down in life is that they begin a plan and then decide to change it. They part away through, and then they start complaining that things are not working. The truth is that the rich got rich because they were dumb enough to believe everything that they have read in the business books committedly. And it turned out that those people who wrote the books were right. Number 3, double the daily effort to 8 times the outcome. Effort to 8 times as the outcome, no matter how dumb you are, how poor you are, how unmotivated you are, how uneducated you are. If you double the volume of daily effort, you should be at least 50%. You should be seeing at least 50% an increase in your results. But if you're really smart enough and you're excited to do what you want to do and you acquire the right tools and skills, if you double the effort, something exciting happens. The outcome doesn't just double itself, it's increased 4 to 8 times in the medium term. Why? Because you have less time to be distracted. You have less time to waste. You have less resources to waste on your crap that doesn't contribute to your future. Efforts compounds when you reinvest the extra time, the extra income, the extra tools that now give you the same output per hour as before. But in only half the time, if you double your efforts daily, it won't be long enough until you double your hourly output. Double the time, you're now making progress 4 times faster than when you started. When you approach life with this amount of value, you will earn twice as much as you've been earning, as fast as everybody else. Because you're encountering more situations, that is how doubling your effort gets to 8 times the results. Number 4. Remind yourself what you're running from and what you're running towards. Just focusing on the first 3 numbers on this list is enough to get you some real progress. You will see it in your bottom line and in your bank account because you've made some progress. You will begin to slow down. When you slow down, then the temptations will creep in. Shiny objects will try to lure your sights away from your past, getting off that horse in the first place. So you need an easy and effective way to self-motivate. That's when you remind yourself what the big goal is. And what the big goal is, that's what you are. That's what you're running from. The big goal is what you're running towards. You visualize what your life will be like when you get there, the impact it will have on your life and into the lives of those people you love and care about. This gives you an initial push, but it's not enough to get you lifted off. To drive this home, you dig deep into yourself and you realize what you're running from, what your life will be like if you don't take action. That everything you know can become, it won't be. It will never come to be. You will live your life with regret and disappointments of never becoming what you knew you could be. Your peers will move on, your idols will go further and further, and you will sink into mediocrity. As a result, you will become bitter and angry at the world, finding excuses and blaming everyone else. But yourself, your family and your friends will start to resent you and mock you for it, and you'll find it painful to just be you spiraling down. In that case, the only value you will be adding to the world is that your children will grow up with your failure as an example of what not to do in life. That's what you're running from. That's the difference between getting back to work to make your dreams happen and simply not taking actions at all. Number 5. Win the day before the day starts. Now there are 2 kinds of people in the world. Those people who win that day and those who plan the day. Those who plan that day outperform the rest of the people on every metric possible by a massive margin, okay? Those who plan that day are more productive. They get more done in a day. They are exponentially more likely to find long-term success in their professions and personal lives. They are better adjusted and emotionally stable. They are less likely to be depressed, anxious, or feel lost, and they achieve much higher levels of work-life balance. What planning does is that it removes the friction from your life. So, here is a simple example. It's easier to go for a run in the morning if you get your shoes and outfits ready by the door the night before. If everything is set up for you to just do it, you are less likely to chicken out or find an excuse not to do it. This is your routine, and the discipline to schedule by the day before the night before is a game changer. You no longer have to fight against that little voice in your head, because once you're out that door, you might as well run, you might as well exercise, you might as well work out. You might as well get some work done. You might as well read or write those pages. Start with focusing your mind. If your mind knows what it should do, if your mind knows what it has to focus on, that little voice quiets down a lot. So, don't do the hardest things you can early in the morning, if you can. This is when you win that day before it comes to 11. Everything else you do will be an extra progress. This is called eating the frog first. You know what actually moves the needle forward for you, and what are the just maintainers. So uploading a new project to your store is superior to just checking in the numbers or answering emails. Pay off your dues before everything else. The experts call this time blocking, where you begin to segment your day in time slots, specifically dedicated to action. Items we start every day with: a coffee and a daily muffin, a daily muffin and a log session. And immediately after, we jump and head first into the highest priority tasks that we've selected the day before. This is how we win that morning in the first half of our day. By the time it turns to 7 p.m., most of the things are already shipped to our customers. What most people would consider a day's worth of work from 7 to 6 p.m., and anything that we weren't able to ship or get done will just be an accelerator to our progress, and we can give it our focus because we no longer have the pressure of big things looming over us. 6 to 8 is a family time religiously for over a decade before we plan the day and the week before. The biggest problem is you will be so productive that at some point you will struggle to find the high priority tasks to tackle in the first half of the day. So you have to make yourself happier by keeping a gratitude journal and reflecting on what you're learning. Learn specific skills or techniques from experts who've spent their entire lives perfecting their craft. It takes 15 minutes to 20 in the morning to get all of this set up in a way where you dramatically increase your chances of success so much. Number 6, have an action bias and a speed bias. Action beats intellect. When the clock is tickling, you will learn more by doing than by thinking. Speed need amplifiers. Learning to this extent that done is better than perfect. Done builds momentum. Perfectionism keeps you in the same place. The path to success is paved by action, but not hesitation. Successful people all operate with a sense of urgency. This is important even if they have to artificially manufacture it. You make yourself believe that your life depends on you getting things done. Your output changes, okay? Speed thrives on imperfection. The urgency you bring defines how quickly you will transform your life. Successful people have a speed bias. We learned an incredible lesson from a billionaire mentor of ours when we were discussing our growth goals for the company and telling him about our 3-year-old roadmap. He listened quietly, brought it, and then asked us a question that changed the way we were working. The question was, what would it take to make all of this happen in only 6 months? This forced us to think radically different. We would need more people, more money, and to accelerate the speed of learning. By increasing faster speed, this might be expensive, but it's worth it. When it saves you time, as time passes, the opportunity you have right now might not be able to be there 2 years from now. This is why Silicon Valley companies raise money so they make 10 years of progress in 18 months and mitigate the risks of the opportunity disappearing before you have a chance to act. Number 7, you stop looking at others or after others. As long as you live, you will always be a race of one. You are racing against the failure that you could become if you stopped running. It's not about anyone else. They do really matter, but you don't need their approval. You don't need the approval of your parents. You don't need the approval of your peers, because they are not the ones you need to build a sense. You need to build what you want to build. You have to develop a sense of distraction, on an ability to identify them for what they are, to untrain your eye. This might present them as an opportunity, but most opportunities are just distractions in disguise. Once you stop comparing yourself to others, you need the bandwidth to focus on yourself. You get it by taking your bandwidth back from the people who took it in the first place. A sinking ship can save no one. So, fix your damn ship before it sinks. Make yourself strong. Let them carry their own weight for a while, and then save them when you're ready. If you don't, they will just drown you with them. Number 8, don't quit things at 60%. So you start something, you put in a couple of weeks, and you've made some progress. You are 50 to 60% into something. That might change the game for you, at which point, or whatever reason, you find yourself quitting. All the effort you've put in, all the money and the time, it's now lost. Effort and money invested in is now zero. Sure, keep lying to yourself that you've actually learned something, but you haven't. Unless you ship it. If you ship it and go live with it or stick with it, you've wasted the opportunity and the money and the effort. It kills us. When this happens, you find a potential great hire. The first interview goes well. The same with the second one or the third one. When things are about to get serious, you unearth a massive red flag that you know makes them a bad fit long term. So you end it all. All of the time and the effort you've put in is now wasted. The only thing you can do now is to try again until you are able to get to that finished line. Whatever you do, don't make it a habit of quitting at 60%, or else you'll always be stuck right where you are. Number 9, get off the platforms. You don't need the news or the distractions. There is nothing for you on Instagram or Facebook or X aka Twitter. You don't need TV, you don't need news or threads or the black and orange shows. Your life will be miserably better without you trapped in the new cycle of scrolling. The secret to speeding up isn't more effort. It's less noise, removing that doom scrolling from your life. This will reveal just how much of unproductive time you are used to wasting with nothing to show for it. Very soon, you will realize you've been monetized, or at least enjoying less than 20% of your valuable time. Everything was just you idling away with no purpose. Number 10, someone else knows how to get there faster. Pay them to show you how. Pay them to show you how to do it. You accelerate a lot when you go from hiring people that you can grow to. Hiring people who are already grown, you can go from hiring cheaply to hiring for specific expertise per unit of time. You are getting substantially more with the lad they have. They don't need to be employees. They just need to have the expertise that you need. The expertise that you have to see the things you miss, that they can see the things you're missing. That's what experts are for. They've done exactly what you're trying to figure out, so they see all the mistakes that you're about to make firsthand. This will help you to avoid the business mistakes that many people are making, and it can save you a lot of money and time in the long run. It's kind of expensive to hire one, but if you do it, it's really helpful and worth it. Number 11, you remove your expectations of instant achievement. And no matter what you trust, and no matter how you trust the process, the first week you hit the gym, you see no results, right? You get tired. Everything hurts. There is no six-pack in sight, but you know that if you just keep this up to 6 to 12 months from now, things will start to change. Things will start to look whole a lot better than the way you started. Only will you be consistent in a process that you know it works. If you just keep going, it will bleed into the rest of your life. You will start eating better, so you don't compromise the effort you're making. You will sleep better, feel better. Your brain will be sharper. Before you know it, it feels as natural as it was part of you, as if it was always part of your schedule. Once you see results, you'll be addicted. You will start optimizing your workouts and perfect your techniques. You will make real progress and know when you've had a great day. The exact same thing happens in business and life. So stop dismissing something as if it's not working simply because you want to gym once and you don't have the six-pack in sight. Doesn't mean that working out doesn't help your body. But put your head down and do it daily. Check back in 6 to 12 months and then see how you're doing. Number 12, build and consistently optimize the machine. Optimize the machine gets you what you want. There are 2 ways to get from point A to point B in life. 1, you can walk. That's what having a job is doing. 2, you can build a machine that takes you there. If you don't want to go for a walk, walking, doing the if you don't want to go for walking, it can also do the trick for you just well. But if you don't want, make sure that you have a machine to do this for you. If your goals are beyond the horizon over there, you need to build something depending on your goals. It can be a bike, a car, a train, a plane, or a rocket. A bike is like a bakery where you are the main chef. A car is a small business where you have a handful of employees with you. A train is a big regional business. A plane is an international business. And a rocket is a unicorn one that changes the world. Now every category have been previously built by somebody else, so you know it's possible, and you have an understanding of how difficult building each one can be. But if you're committed and dedicated to doing it, give it your time, patience and energy, you will see things coming into place for you. Thank you so much for coming this far with us. Before we leave, make sure that you subscribe to the channel in that more people don't miss this important knowledge from us. Like, comment, and share to your friends. Let's meet next time. Peace.